All right, y'all know what it is. Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106. Up close and personal conversations. Yes, is where I have close conversations with people that I admire, people that are fixtures in the game and doing big things. And this young lady is all of the above. Somebody that I've been admiring for a long time. And not just myself. I mean, everybody's admiring this person. Dr. Dre said that she's his favorite female MC. But he should just probably take female off of it and just say one of his favorite MCs. We got Rapsody in the building.
Hey, I'm here with Nick Cannon. What's up, man?
Hey, I like the braids too.
Thank you.
That's a fly
My
little
West Coast vibe.
Yeah. I see. How you been?
I've been good. Busy.
Yeah.
Super busy.
Last time I seen you was on Wildin' Out.
Let me tell you, cuz. I tell everybody, I said, man, I went on Wildin' Out and I tank.
You know what's crazy? When real MCs come on Wildin' Out, there's this weird, like, there's always like, how playful am I gonna be?
Yeah.
And then how much? Because we're all playing around, and you great vibes, but for some reason the cast members always be like, "Oh, that's a real rapper. Let me get my bars up." So they be hitting like blindsiding y'all. You be like, "Yo, I thought we was playing."
You guys be like, where do I fit
so
in
I
here?
feel bad for the real MCs and everybody who comes up, because the thing about Wildin' Out, you gotta be overly playful.
Yeah.
And most real MCs ain't really coming to be overly playful. So it's a weird line. Like there's like, or you got to be like a playful type of MC, like a Chance the Rapper or a Kanye or something like that are known. But like for the people that come on, the real MCs, they kind of like don't know exactly where to fit in, because y'all got bars. Clearly,
we always
but then
in
it's like,
mode.
but I don't play with this. Like I remember when T.I. came on there for like before he became the lovable Clifford Huxtable. He was like, nah, I don't play with this. I'm for real with this. But he came and performed, but I respected that, because he was like, yo, I don't. And this was a different time in hip hop. This was over 10 years ago. But I understand, because even myself, I would be like, if I wasn't there joking and being silly, I would be like, yo, I don't really
know
I don't really know y'all. Y'all might say something out of pocket.
How far can we go?
Yeah, so. But I appreciate you coming through, having fun with us, and you can come back whenever you want, because I mean I'm just a fan in general. So speaking of being a fan, the new album, I don't even know where to begin when I'm like, because it's conceptual in such a way that, but I don't want to call it a concept album, because it's just a great album just all the way around. But the fact that you spent so much time and detail in, one, honoring just women in general, but then the bars and the way it's constructed and the soulfulness, like, first, where did it all come from? What were you inspired by to make
idea? It was a guy that came to interview me for the Oxford, and he was talking about my family tree, like. He said, he was doing the genealogy musically of North Carolina. So he was like, you come from Nina Simone and Roberta Flack. And I never thought about it that way. And I was like, when I talk about interviews and who inspires me, I always say Lauryn Hill, Latifah, but I also say Cicely Tyson and Felicia Rashad and Nikki Giovanni. So I'm like, well, Dag, like, why don't I do a song that shows all the different pieces of me? Like, if you were going to make Rapsody, I would pull from Felicia for the motherly love. I pull from Nikki for the power of words. I pull from this person. So I was like, creatively, like, bam, let me just do it. And it was so easy, and I had so much fun with it. But I didn't want to do it in a way where it was corny.
Right.
Like you giving the life story of these people. Like, I wanted it to be like hints of them, but at the same time still get the bars off.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't, like you say, too conceptual, but it's still structured in a conceptual way. Like,
let's talk about depth for a second, because I mean, honestly, you've probably gone deeper on this album than since like a Lauryn. I mean, since the Miseducation, I haven't heard a queen spit like this and kind of put this much thought into an entire project, because a lot of people chase hits. A lot of people allow others to come in, and whoever it is, there's nothing wrong with that. But to really understand who you are, I don't think there's really been a album where I was like, wow, I listened to that and I feel like I know her perspective. I know who she is. I know how she grew up. I know where she's from. Like, this is remarkable in that sense that you could go so deep and be compelling and entertaining all at the same time. Did you think it was gonna be? I mean, your last album was like that too, but this one I feel like you went even deeper. And the fact that you kind of on a stage by yourself like that, I don't know if there's anyone else making these type of albums, or there's no one else in your lane right now.
Nah, I mean Kendrick. He inspires me a lot, what he does. But that's what I grew up on. That's all I know of hip hop. Where the ones I listened to, they had depth, they had storytelling. Their project was a whole story. Yeah. So that's when I came
Tribe
in.
Records.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm right there with
Fugees, like how interludes, went into it.
Yeah, even the Biggies and the Pacs.
Exactly.
Like them was they was movies.
Complete thought. So when I got in this, I said I don't want to be the best female. Like I want to be one of the best ever. So that's who I always put myself up against. Like, I'd play their record and then play mine, and I had to go through the process of really learning, about song making and about the science of rhyme. But at the same time, I had to learn who I was and be comfortable with it, because I did go into a stage where it's like, how do I even fit in this climate of music?
Right.
Like, because everybody's chasing hits, and it's just like I can't do that. Like, there's not an ounce of me in my body that can even do that and still be happy. So, I had to fight with those things a long time, but it was just one day, and I think it was like Layla's Wisdom was a big turning point where it just clicked, and I got all of those things about making song making, and how to be lyrical but at the same time simple and complex. Right. Because you could be too complex and too simple. There's a middle ground that Jay-Z has perfected, and I had to study him over and over again. And that's just how I approached the music. I wanted to be a legacy artist. I wanted to be around 20 years. Right. So I knew I had to make things like, I listened to people talk about, this person's top 5 because they impact this way and because this, and I was like, okay, if these are the things we measuring for greatness, let me make sure that I master all of these things. So that's just how I always looked at music. Like, I wanted to touch people first. Like,
So clearly you get the critical acclaim, but you said it, like, people are chasing hits, and a lot of people that are out there now, they got the big names. Right. And even the big movements. Do you feel a way to where it's like, all right, I want to be included in that? Or are you comfortable being like, yo, I'm for the culture, I'm for substance, I don't need to be on your radio every 5 seconds? And knowing that, again, I think I try to stay away from this when speaking of you, but the comparisons to the female rappers, and even when they start talking about their top 5 female rappers and stuff, knowing that you could probably body everybody on anybody's list, but your name doesn't come up often because unless you know, you don't know. Right. How do you deal with that?
It used to bother me at a certain point, and it was because you work hard, you at least want the recognition. But I had to tell myself that, 1, everybody doesn't know, and 2, me and Knife were having a conversation. He was like, look, you can be like everybody and try to chase and get the same 10 million people that everybody all trying to get, or you could be comfortable with your 300,000 and know that you have them for the rest of your life. And you can have a career like Nas and Erykah Badu when you here for 20 years. So, I had to just change my focus on what is important, you know, and what was important was to make dope music, that can inspire people and that would keep me around forever. And if I had to sacrifice being famous, then that was worth it. So I just had to change my perspective, but at the same time, if anything, I just want the possibility or the opportunity to be exposed, and allow at least people to know that there is this too. Like, I just want to bring balance. Now, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Right. But not to even have the opportunity to be exposed to people where they know, like, it doesn't all have to look like this and all have to be like this. So you can listen to this and this too. You know? So that's the biggest thing for me because of. It's more so I look at the kids, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't have anybody to put them on, it's just like, dang, like, how do you know how to learn how to critically think through music? Because we don't learn it in schools. Where we going to learn it from? Like, somebody did a review and they was like, I played it for my daughter. And she was like, I don't like to listen to music that makes me think. And I'm just like.
That's true, though.
That's crazy. And it's just like, I feel like if it ain't me, it need to be somebody.
Right.
You know, like there's a thing called sonic warfare that's happening.
Facts.
And the music that we listen to, you know, it affects our brain and how we think. Exactly. So, you know, how do we counteract that? We can entertain, but we also have to educate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing.
You see that as
me.
a responsibility.
Like, I do. Like, and I think it's up to us, you know, to, you know, understand the power that we have. Like, people are also, they look to TV and radio to tell them what to like nowadays.
Facts.
Like, it's a lot. I hate to say it, but it's just a lot of sheep. Like, people are just comfortable. It's just like, I don't like this, but it's on the radio and I don't want to be left out, so I'm going to listen to it 50 times to make myself like it. Instead of turning like, I don't like this, so let me go find what I do like, you know.
Right. So
those are the things to me, just like I feel like we don't understand the power that we have. And
but also at times music is for the idea of bringing people together. Completely. And the concepts of group thinking musically has been throughout generations. Mm-hmm. That's how, that is how people control messages, but two, that's how people come together as well. So I think it's about assimilating. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we think, you know, everybody can't be an independent thinker. Mm-mm. Everybody, you know, there's only so many people that could be leaders and teach. And it's a responsibility because, like you said, there's a interesting balance between someone who can lead the sheep, because there's only, you got to be a shepherd. Right. To be a shepherd, you have to have sheep. But there's also like what you speak of, that responsibility. So is that to me, like, I always find it difficult to find a balance of, like, you know, I could sit here and have an intellectual conversation all day long, but if I don't make somebody laugh every few minutes, if I don't entertain, then I'm not doing the job that people expect of me.
Right.
So it's like there's only certain frequencies certain people can operate on, and you got to be able to, as an entertainer, provide for all. So do you ever struggle with that balance?
No, I don't.
You just stay where it is.
I know my lane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, that's dope, because you actually define. That's the beauty of actually having a core audience and having such a strong voice catered to a specific community, because I think the issues with when you're more mainstream, or whether it's radio, whether it's television, when you have to appeal to the masses, your message does get watered down, or they might only get pieces
of it. Yeah. I'm big on balance. I listen to everything. Like, people like to think that I only listen to, like, music where it's message. Like, nah, like, I like to shake my butt too. Career, it's all about balance. Like, but it's very one-sided nowadays. Like, think when we were growing up. Let's take Tupac, for example.
Right.
The thing I loved about Tupac was
he had a beautiful balance.
He had a beautiful balance. You know,
a wonderful conundrum.
Exactly. Like, you know, so that's just what I missed, that there's no balance. Like, you know, of course, I don't expect everybody, you know, to be able to process and think about this all the time, but they don't even have the option a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the biggest thing for me. But I don't struggle with it. Like, I've gotten better. Like, in the beginning, it might have felt message, but I'm learning now how to make records where they're more fun, where you can put you don't even have to have a whole song about a whole concept.
Right.
Because nowadays kids listen to music in pieces.
Yeah,
Be like 8 bars a subject, 8 bars another subject. So I might be talking about
your
a little
record
something
on TikTok.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, you could talk about a little something for 4 bars and have fun for 8 bars.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's pills and the applesauce.
Yeah, you know.
But that's my lane. Like,
you know who did that brilliantly over their career to me is Kanye.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't even know he was giving you.
No.
You thought this song was about shaking ass, and you'd be like, it'd be about spirituality. Like, so to say all of that on this record, you got some heavy hitters. Like, obviously, even rocking with a team like Rock Nation, and then being able to have the likes of everyone from J. Cole to Queen Latifah on this project, D'Angelo, like, Jizzle, like, yo, like, I don't think I've seen a more well-rounded and eclectic group of people on a project in a long time. Was that purposely done? Did you design that to be like, yo, I need my record with Cole so I can grab all of those fans? Or, yo, I need to.
Oh, nah.
Like, you were just in the studio?
For me, when I do it, I listen to the music, and I do my parts first.
Right.
And then I figure out if there's anything missing, and what is it? And what's missing, who can fill that void? That's always how I approach it. It's never about celebrity or whatever. It's about,
interesting.
You know, artistically what's missing and who do I know that I think can kill whatever that is. So, but I did go in and say I at least want to work with a couple legends.
Right.
So who they were, I didn't know. Like D'Angelo fell in my lap, literally.
How did that come about?
We were in the studio with Knife, right? And all these features, me and Knife got ourselves. Like, we didn't even have to pull the Rock Nation muscle.
Wow.
Like, that's a blessing that we built those relationships. We're in the studio mixing with Guru, and we have Ibtihaj, but Jizza has confirmed to get on the verse, so he's touring with the doc, and we're just trying to schedule out when we can fit him in.
Right.
With my deadlines too, because I'm like, I'm
knocking
on deadline doors heavy. So, the guy on the other phone was like, well, I'm also here with D'Angelo. He's big fans of you, Knife, and Rap. And I think it'd be dope if y'all work together. Can I play him the song?
Oh, wow.
And that's exactly how it happened. I was like,
That's
yeah.
ill.
I was like, I'll send the album. We'll make new beats, like whatever you want to do, like to get him, like what do you want? And he was like, nah, this is it. And he listened to it. I think a couple of days later, he called Knife. He was like, he'd love to get on it. Just that's how that happened.
And then, like, that's crazy. Like, you send him the files, or y'all pull up in the studio? Like, how's that work?
We pull up in those studios now.
Does D'Angelo even live on this planet?
Bruh. That's why I'm like, you see Andre 3000 sightings, you see this person, you never hear of D'Angelo sightings anywhere. Like, I don't know where he lived, but he was in the studio. I think he worked on it, a week and a half or so, because he did it all analog.
That's beautiful.
And I was going to New York, and I was like, yo, you think we could pull up, like at least say thank you or whatever? They was like, nah. He likes to create. So I was like, respect.
Understood.
So that's how that one happened.
And then even like how do you approach Cole? Like, do you be like, you just hit him up and be like, yo, I want you to jump on this joint? Especially because even now, he's saying like he ain't getting on no more features.
He filled his feature quota for a little bit. We can breathe.
Yeah, like.
I've been trying to work with him for a long time, but you have to learn that everything happens in the time it's supposed to happen, and you just be cool with it. But I had sent him several songs throughout the years. For whatever reason, we just never connected. Whether it was I wasn't ready or fully developed as an artist,
right?
Or maybe his schedule, maybe he wasn't doing features at the time. But this particular time, the Maya beat. The Erykah Badu Green Eyes flip is the one we wanted him on. So, I told him, I was like, yo, I hit him. I was like, I got a record, love for you to get on. He's like, yeah, I'm going to pull up to the studios. He came to the studio, and before we played any music, even talked about it, we just sat and talked for 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
Just talked about everything. And there was one, like, subject we really got heavy on and deep on. It was about, at the time, Knife is teaching at Central, and he has, kids that are coming in 18, 19. So they're talking about the differences in our generations.
Right.
How we grew up in the school system, what we were taught, how we consume music. So Knife's telling his. Me and Cole are kind of in the same generation. So we're talking about, how we relate. And, technically that's kind of feel like the middle child, concept. So then we go in the studio, and I play him the Green Eyes flip, and he was like, I like that, but let me just, hear what else you had before I commit. So I just start playing beats, and when it landed on the one we used for Sojourner, he was like, that's the one. So I was like, all right, go for it.
Hey.
And that's just how it was. Like, when I do music, especially
he's singing on the hook and everything.
Like he went in, got his paper, he still write on paper, paste in the booth. He probably finished it in 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Verse and hook, like 20 minutes. And then I did my verse. But that's how it is when I work with artists. Like, I might have an idea for them, but if they don't connect with it, I don't force it. Like, I want you to love it as much as I do. So,
Facts.
That's the one he picked, and we just created, and it just came out so dope. It fit the record. So
that's awesome right there. Well, so knowing that you, like, people already calling it a classic. Your first one, people honor it as a classic, Grammy nominated, all of that hot stuff. Do you feel the pressure to keep operating on this level?
It's not pressure. I always want to operate on a great level.
Right.
Since my first project in 2010, everybody tell you my goal is to always let me grow. Like, how can I grow and get better?
Right.
Every time. So as long as I do that, but the music and creativity for me is, I can't think of anything outside that should affect that. It should always be about, how you feeling at the time, what stories do you want to tell, like, and getting the music that matches that vibe of wherever I'm trying to go. But like, me going in thinking like, dang, like I ain't winning last year, but I got to make a record to win a Grammy this year. To me, that's not how the best music is made. The best music is pure. You know, it just comes from natural feeling and just want to tell a true story. All the music that I know that I gravitate towards too. So those are the people that I really study and watch, you know, because I see like, you know, you can have a hit single and win a Grammy for that. But does it stand the test of time?
Right.
The album, like, you know, I want to make music that people are going to listen to, like Stevie Wonder records and, you know, Patti LaBelle and these people. So I go in, and it got easier for me. Like, I used to think about those things, but when we got nominated for Layla's Wisdom, and I wasn't, we went in like 170 something on Billboard, and it didn't even sell that much. So that's let me know, like, I could be recognized just for making dope music.
Yeah.
So that was all the little bit left that I needed to be like, yo, what I'm doing is what I need to be doing. That's all I need to worry about.
And let's talk origins for a second, just for the people who do not know. I mean, like, coming from North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yeah. You know, I grew up out there too. So
You did?
Like, like the Charlotte area. My family's from Kannapolis.
Yo, I had no idea.
Everybody's name there is Cannon. It's Kannapolis.
Yo, that's crazy. Okay then.
So I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I know all the culture and how rich it is. But how does one go from? Because I remember how hard it was to make it out of North Carolina. So how does a MC from North Carolina get to become a world renowned, known all over the globe rapper?
Bruh, to be from Snow Hill, North Carolina, too. At least you was from like a big city. Like, where I'm from, Snow Hill is the eastern part, and the population is 2,000 people, literally.
Wow.
So I ask myself that every day, but the only thing I can say is the marathon. Yeah. Like, once you go in and you realize it's a marathon and not a sprint, and that you have to put in your 10,000 hours to master something. Ninth always told me, he's given me so much advice that, you know, people can't deny great music, but so long. Right. You know, so that's the thing that I kept in the forefront of my mind. Like, continue to put out great music and celebrate every small win, but you can't stop. Right. Because the minute that you stop, it could be like that one record or one song that's going to turn a corner for you. Right. So, you know, I just had to keep fighting. Yeah. And I feel like with wherever you from, whatever you do, whatever obstacles you face, as long as you keep going, eventually you're going to reach whatever goal it is that you're trying to reach. But you have to be honest with yourself during the process too. You know, you can't come in with an ego like, yo, this, like, be honest with yourself and always, you know, work on being great. Absolutely. And making the great music and branding yourself and marketing yourself and building great relationships. Like, all of those things helped me along the way where, you know, I meet somebody at A3C in 2011 and, you know, they're not like a big, you know, 106 or, you know, anything like that, but you do an interview with them and you're kind to them. Yeah. And they send you an email 2 months later and you find out they're like SVP at BET somewhere and now you're on 106 in Park. Like, I just look back at all those small stepping stones that, you know, put you in the position that you're supposed to be in. But it's that, and, you know, I'm learning a lot now about energy. You know, and purpose, and you know, where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there. Facts. So, you know, I gotta give some of it to that too, but just stay in the course. Understood. You definitely stayed the course. The album is fire. Eve is out now. Yes. Having a close conversation with Rapsody. We going deep. But, you know, we always do this. That's why you asked me why I got the vest on, because we be shooting from the hip. That's what I was about to say. That's that Cleo. We forgot about them shots, Jay. Facts. So we do a little thing called the Firing Squad, where I just give you questions about any random thing in life, and you just answer them however you feel. Okay. So first one is always off top. Loved or feared? Which one would you rather be? Loved. Really? Yeah, I don't want to ever lead by fear. Really? I want people to love me like they love Jesus. Oh, okay. All right. I think I could go. But you have to have the fear of God too. That's a bar too. That's a bar. Yeah. I was looking at from people. Nah, fear. Yeah, indeed. Absolutely. So when we talk about fear for a second, what's Rapsody's greatest fear? Wow. What's my greatest fear? To be honest with you, I don't think I have one anymore. Really? Fearless? Yeah, fearless now. Before, I think my fear was disappointing people in what I did and how I chose to live my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really?
You know, sometimes
anybody in particular?
Parents specifically, you know, especially like coming from where I came from and choosing a career of music that they ain't really know nothing about, and like leaving that accounting degree. It's just like, you know, things like that. I'm a people pleaser.
So you went to school for accounting?
I went to school for accounting.
What school?
North Carolina State University.
Oh, word?
Wolfpack. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
you good with them numbers?
I like math, and I don't want to do that. I like to count money.
Yeah, I was about to say, now you can handle your own bookkeeping.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either, but I want to know what they know. So I be like, when you speak that language, I know what you talk about. But you do that though. Let me just make sure it's right.
I'm watching.
I get my taxes. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. It should be like around this.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Now, and music is mathematics at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's
indeed.
Like, when you think about theory and all of that stuff. So we're going to lighten it up real quick. Favorite movie of all time?
Color Purple.
Really?
Yeah, boy, what? Celie, you told Harpo to beat me, all of that.
All of that. Hey, sister, all that. Nah, that's an amazing film. That's definitely one of my favorites too. People don't bring that one up as often.
Oh,
but
man, I could watch
Whoopi
it
bodied that,
times.
Oprah bodied that, Danny Glover, all of them.
Everybody, boy. That when Whoopi got the courage to lead the house.
Oh yeah.
She hit him with that's like
Until
that's
you
it.
do right by me.
I get weak every time I see that joint. Yo.
That's funny. So much like one of the first times I ever met Oprah. I mean, I had seen her in passing, but like when I was married, and Mariah actually introduced me to Oprah like backstage in Chicago. I don't know why my dumb ass thought the first thing I should say to her was, "You told Harpo to beat me." She looked at me like, "Motherfucker," and I was just like, I had to say it. And I think ever since that day, like, we ain't been on the same page.
Yo,
but
Oprah,
I was just such a fan.
Yeah.
Mariah looked at me like, I can't take this nigga nowhere. Like,
they gotta know you like to laugh though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she was gonna find it funny. She didn't think that shit. Mariah thought that shit was funny. Like afterwards, it was hella awkward in the room. But
yo, what she say after
she kind of just looked at me and like, she gave me that look like, really? You gonna say that to me?
Yes, I am.
I kind of like,
yes, I am, Oprah.
Like, I had to say it.
You
Come
get a
on.
joke. You get a joke.
Yeah.
She wasn't
But I mean,
it
was cool. I mean, shouts out to Oprah. But
we gotta get that back.
Facts. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I have ever received. Wow, I think to never forget who you are. You don't forget who you are and lose yourself in anything you do.
That's real business.
That's the thing that keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
You know, keeps you close to God too. So
facts.
Yeah.
Worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Man, off the top, I don't even know.
You should make a booty song.
Yeah, something like that.
You need to be twerking in your video.
It's probably something along those lines. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I ain't even got enough back there to even do that. You got to be well endowed.
You got to know how to throw it.
I'm real about mine. I ain't got enough butt to be twerking for nobody.
See, y'all thought she was just being deep.
Nah, I gotta overcompensate for what I'm missing. Cause I tell him the day that I get a flat stomach, y'all gonna get tired of me. I'm like, Rap, you changed. No, I've got my confidence
there
back.
It is. I ain't mad at you. So we'll go right into this. Most prized possession.
Ooh, most prized possession. Photo albums.
Wow, people don't say that anymore because everything's so digital.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I take these pictures. You could lose all your pictures in a minute.
Yeah.
So like me, like I like to go home sometimes and just go through the photo albums. Yeah, like.
See, I still like putting pictures on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, frames.
Like I like to see tangible pictures.
Right.
Photo albums, that used to be my thing too. Like I used to like want to make photo albums.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
I go to Target and they had where you can add the stickers and stuff.
Exactly. See, I was on. That's the same vibe I was on. You're on an island. You only can take 3 things. What you taking?
I can only take 3 things.
Yep.
Okay.
Stranded. You can only take 3 things. You can look at it as a getaway or it's a bad thing, however you want to look at it.
If I'm taking 3 things, Let me see. There ain't any outlets on this album. Like,
whatever you want. You can take.
I gotta take some music, right?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
So I'm definitely gonna take a boom box that I could in my phone.
Right.
So I need my phone and a boom box.
There it is.
And I'm gonna take. Man, I gotta eat though.
There it is. I was about to say.
But what's the one thing like I could eat every day and be good?
I know, right? Well, it's an island, so you can farm.
Give me some spaghetti.
Agriculture.
I just need some spaghetti. Yeah. I can eat it cold. It don't even matter.
I'm rocking with it. Worst job you've ever had?
Worst job I've ever had. I worked at a department store in the women's shoe section. That's the worst job I have.
I can imagine.
Ever had.
Some Al Bundy married with children.
Oh my God. They come in here, want 10 pair of shoes and they don't buy none of it. It's just too much.
Yeah.
That's the worst. But every job I've had, I worked at the grocery store.
Wow.
I worked at Hex and women's
Which grocery
department.
store? Winn-Dixie, Food Lion?
I worked at Food Lion, but first I worked at IGA.
Okay.
Unless you're from North Carolina, you don't know what that is.
I do.
IGA.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
had bad names for it. And I worked at Foot Locker.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right, well, shouts out to the retail.
Come
you know
on.
what I mean? That builds character, as they say.
It does, you know.
All right, so if you could only can listen to one album, what's that album?
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of your life.
Every single day.
Yep.
It's going to be Erykah Badu's Mama's Gun.
Ooh.
It's between two. It's between that and To Pimp a Butterfly.
Wow.
Like.
Okay.
It's hard for me to, if I had to choose.
Nah, those are two.
You asked for one, though.
Yeah.
Give me To Pimp a Butterfly.
All right.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
All right.
I can listen to that every day forever.
There it is. Favorite cuss word?
Shit. Shit.
Shit, that long shit.
You know what I'm saying?
From The Wire. Shit.
Straight up.
There it is. All right. I'm trying to think. You answering these so well. We gotta jump into this. I'm not gonna categorize it however you want to categorize, but I gotta go. Top 5 MCs.
Dead or alive?
However you want to categorize it.
Number 1 is Jay-Z.
Ooh.
2 is J Electronica.
Okay.
As an MC, we ain't talking about bodies of work and impact because I know he ain't got none. People be on my head.
Hey.
J Electronica. 3 is Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
4 is Andre 3000.
Okay.
That 5th spot, I gotta get a Black Thought.
That I don't think anybody can beat your top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if those 5 guys, you can put those 5 guys, they taking out everybody.
Everybody. That's people ask.
I don't care what other 5 MCs you put up against those 5 guys. It's game over.
I'd be happy with my top 5 because people say like to really answer you gotta be like if the aliens came to Earth and you have 5 people that's gonna save your life, who you putting in the ring with the aliens?
Yeah,
I'm winning every time.
Yeah, you just probably the best like bar for bar rappers. That was kind of crazy.
I did I.
Cause you got 2 of my top 5.
Who's your top 5?
You got Jay in there, cause that's undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
And 3000.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. The other one, those you put like can't go against Thought. I like the fact that everybody giving Kendrick his flowers right now. J Electronica, that's one of them curveballs. We're like, oh, but it makes sense. Like if we just talking about actual rapping,
that's what I'm saying.
His ability is crazy.
Oh my God.
See, mine was I try not to go in order, but just for me, Pac is number 1.
Okay then.
And then I struggle between Eminem and Jay for number 2. So that's 2 or 3, however you want to put it. Then I go Ice Cube.
Come on.
And then 3000.
People be sleeping on Cube.
People forgot how dope he is because they know the Ice Cube of today. They forgot about Fuck the Police Ice Cube. They forgot about America's KKK. They forgot about Predator, Kill Will. All of that.
I like that you threw that in there. And if you get him in with the right producers, he's still busting today. Oh,
absolutely.
When that's you that great, it don't leave you.
You know what I say? As in I like to call them, whether we call them griots or
right,
even jegnas, and we as an actual storyteller, he's probably the greatest storyteller of our generation.
I give you that.
Because it goes beyond music.
Right.
When you think about Friday, when you think about the barbershop movie, whatever he's done, like to
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood, actual storytellers, there's not many that have operated on every level with such detailed and impactful stories. Like, I gave him his flowers. Like, yo, people don't you're a true storyteller for our culture. Like,
right.
And he's still going. You know what I mean? So even just his ability and think about the people he put on.
That's what that tree is deep.
Yeah, like
that's a deep tree.
He put on some people, even just with his pen. Like, Friday will go down, like, we talking favorite movies, that'll always go down as one of my favorites.
That's in my top 5,
yeah.
Easily. Top 3.
I remember I used to watch Friday every day. After
every
school, every day. Like, there's no other movie that I could do that with. But that's a powerful top 5. And I'm definitely sure that you are in many people's top 5 and will only go on to be one of the greatest MCs to ever do it. So I salute you, give you your flowers now. But I got to end it like this.
Come on.
The one word that describes Rapsody.
I'm going to say legendary.
Go ahead and own that, queen.
Yeah, I'm going to own it. People telling me every day, rap, we like when you talk your shit. So I was like, no, because I'm I be chilling. Like, I let music and things speak for themselves, but it's like legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah.
There it is. Well, it's been an up close and personal conversation with the legend, Rapsody. Man, I salute you. Continue to strive, continue to shine, and let's get to it. Hey. It's Nick Cannon Mornings, Power 106. Let's go.